one of your other stand pat teams was the Bulls, who are one of the most talked about teams in the run up to the deadline. They end up doing nothing. And outside of a small deal for a second round pick, they have not made a trade to acquire a player since August 2021. In your opinion, how much of their inaction was due to the lack of quality offers at the deadline versus their own lack of a plan?
Great context, Alex. As a brief, lighthearted aside, I always love the Between Two Ferns vibe you have going behind you. That
Oh, thank
shout
you.
out to the is it Zach Galifianakis show that used
Yeah, yeah.
yes, indeed. Also, Alex, I know I'm just pumping you up. You have the best
Thank you,
voice on
thank
the
you.
Athletic MBO show pod. I'm
Oh,
just gonna put
wow,
that out
thank you.
there. Love it, love it.
It's an honor.
But yeah, the context is great. As far I honestly hadn't like slowed down when it comes to the Bulls to realize that they hadn't made a move since 2021. I mean, that's wild, and really
Yeah.
what it speaks to is, Arturas Karnisovas takes over that front office. And I wish I had the date in front of me. You guys might be able to cheat and help me out as far as exactly when he was hired away from Denver. But obviously he came in there like gangbusters and made a bunch of moves. They were competitive right away. They were the number one seed in January in that first year. And we thought they were going to have a long runway. Lonzo Ball was going to be part of the future, and things were bright. Right. And now it's like, man, I had a crack in my story about them that, and this is a very dated reference, but there's an old song back in 1973 called Stuck in the Middle with You that came to mind, because it's like, that's all these teams, and the Bulls are one of them, that they're stuck in the middle. And I probably should have credited, if I'm being honest, in the column, the legendary Michael Wilbon. So he was on ESPN yesterday talking about Jerry Reinsdorf. And I'm always, and Andrew, you know this, like I love unpacking the human element of the league and why certain things happen. So Wilbon pointed out that Reinsdorf is 87 years old, which the only reason that is kind of worth mentioning is that you led the franchise that won 6 championships. You know the history. They still play the music in the building. Bulls fans are still coming out, pulling their checkbooks out, filling the arena. And by and large, even when you have a team that is stuck in the middle, you're still not only making money, but having a decent time, half the time. And when the owner is at this stage in life, the observation that Wilbon made was maybe that's just enough. Maybe it's just that is the desire to not bottom out and to rebuild, like I think most executives would think they should, that the motivation and the driving force might in fact be the guy who runs the shop. And that I don't know what else to point to, because DeMar DeRozan is going to be a free agent. Now, listen, I was told yesterday from DeMar's camp that he likes it there. Like he could resign if the number is right, but he's going to be pushing for a big number. He's still a very productive player. So that is by no means a certainty that he could be back. And then you could have the debate about whether they should want him back based on their timeline and what they're trying to do. Because once you get past Kobe White, who is obviously just having an incredible year, Patrick Williams in the last year of his deal, Lonzo with the just incredibly unfortunate knee problems that have got him out. I think he's supposed to be starting to run in January, but he's missing 2 seasons. Andrew, on our pod, we give the Warriors a hard time a lot about having 2 tracks, young and old. Like the Bulls are taking this thing, to a different level, and not obviously having had any of the success that a team like the Warriors have.